Lights up in all colors.
And lights up in all colors? These are special pieces.
See, you guys like...
I know. Those are special.
You guys are gonna like do something.
So we have a special guest today, Charles Hollis Jones. And he's gonna come visit the studio. And we've got some really interesting similarities because he took this material, you know, way back when. It was a type of an acrylic, clear acrylic, and he made this gorgeous furniture out of it. So really he was a pioneer in design and materiality, and he worked for, you know, whether it's Sinatra, Lucille Ball, Johnny Carson, and even amazingly Tennessee Williams, the playwright. How incredible is that? Explaining how, you know, you were this, you're a pioneer in this material, acrylic material. So why don't we go around and then, you know, we'll go for a walk and then, you know, ask any questions that you have. You know. Charles picked up on the staircase, and then this will be for like a circular stair, right? And then these will go up about 20 feet. He knows I love it, and he loved it too. So we like the illumination, right? And then being able to texture it and curve it all in one. It's extravagant. It's one of one. It's one of these iconic pieces, and Charles creates iconic pieces.
I haven't made staircases for about 50 years.
Wow.
Lucite stainless steel treads.
Wow.
You know, the Lucite that you put the metal over the tread. Got the idea from Grandma's house.
Now, artists and artisans are able to draw upon all this materiality.
And he said, take that home with you and see if you can make it look like some and bring it back.
Really?
Bring me back the drawings. So I got paid $125 a month while I was a junior and senior in high school.
And how do you express with that materiality? Well, we use solid surface material, and that really is hyper expressive. So it's a language just like any other. That way, because you like what you did with Lucite, right? I've kind of taken this material corian. I relate to Charles because Charles took this standard material, acrylic, and then he was just incredibly expressive with it. He understood it. He had a great command of this ordinary material, and he made extraordinary objects, and still is making extraordinary objects. The question people ask when they see something beautiful, right? They have that first initial reaction, which is, wow, I like that, that's beautiful. The next question is, what's it made out of, right? So, I'm like, oh, and then they learn about materiality, but I think the materiality is like the second or maybe the third layer, right? The first layer is like an emotional reaction, right? And then the second layer is like, well, oh, what is that made out of, It's like eating a dish, right? Yeah. You would taste it and you're like, oh, it's good. And it's like, hey, then you want to know, what did I just eat? He was so down to earth. I was like surprised that he actually really wanted to talk to me. So that was a privilege. And we had a lot of common respect for each other. We have some similar paths. That right there.
Oh.
So that's one of those stairs, right?
Yeah, that's a picture I saw and I loved.
Yeah.
The next layer.
Yeah. So they all fit like a puzzle, and you can separate them and put one table over here with a chair.
I can't believe it. I do the puzzling too, but you've done puzzling in another way, right?
But
Very
it's
nice.
so cool, right? You guys are like on the same.
We're never going to stop doing a puzzle though.
Right.
There's so much to do,
He just did 13 houses with John Lautner, an incredible architect. Mostly he did in Palm Springs. John Lautner is, a very famous, esteemed architect. I think he's on the Hollywood Walk of Fame even.
Mostly, no. Some of them were in Mexico. Some were more at the beach. Some of them were in Palm Springs.
Known for his incredible modern homes right there in Palm Springs. So he's an inspiration because he really did pioneer the modern home language, in particular in Palm Springs.
Is the photograph with the sunken-in living room? That's the original Lautner house. Is that correct? The one with all your furniture in it. It's got it's probably the 20 pieces.
The one in my
with
house.
The sunken, that's
big. Not 100 pieces.
And that's not the Lautner?
That's a Lautner.
That is a Lautner. Incredible, with the sunken living room.
I have to look at that. The transition between the old office, if you could even call it an office, it was like a large closet. Pre-COVID, I had, embarrassingly, 6 people in this room.
Oh, wow.
Okay, we were all working in here, right? 6 people in there at one time. Oh, and we had the machine working, and then if someone wanted to make a phone call, guess what? They had to actually go outside to their car because there was just so much noise. But we did it, and we'd run the machine, we'd try to do our best to barricade the door to keep it clean in here. But we were working here, and we started building up and growing and growing and growing. And now we've migrated steps away. We have both offices. We have so much space, but we're almost running out of space because we're growing. Yeah, took years, right? But we got over there. And so now I got everybody a really great space, and everyone can really kind of create and design. But we can still walk over here, and we do, the mock-ups, the samples. We still do a lot of production here, but we really have that maker space. So if we get an idea, we can make it, mock it up, actually build it up like you saw right there. And that gives you that direct experience. So sometimes, you're designing and you have an idea, but you're like, ooh, I want to work out the issues in the real world.
Right.
So trying to bring the digital world and more of like the fabrication world, not having them be so separated, right? People that are interested in design or let's say furniture design, making, do you have any like advice for them? Like, what do you think they should know?
Well, if they don't know what they want, they should hire a good interior designer or an architect.
So keep it to the professionals,
Yeah.
right? I agree with you, right? And for people that want to be professionals, right? What's the best way to improve their skills?
Well, I think the best thing is to be willing to work for somebody and to, anytime we work for somebody, we think we could become them.
Right.
And, I was lucky enough to get good jobs when I came here.
Did you mentor a lot of people, and did they think they could do what you do? And then
Almost every day.
right.